Why do some people pick up a new language and reach fluency while most get stuck in that frustrating middle ground and eventually just quit? It's not about talent. It's not about having a language brain. It's about one specific phase that breaks almost everyone. A phase called the dip. But not you. Not after today. Because by the end of this video, you will have the tools to push through the single most difficult part of language learning and stop being a victim of your own frustration. If you're ready for that, let's get into it. First things first, you have to shift how you think about the struggle. When you start learning a language, it's exciting. You're making rapid progress. Then, a few months in, you hit a wall. Progress stalls. Every study session feels like you're getting nowhere. This is the dip. It's that sinking feeling in your stomach when you hear a native speaker and the gap between you and them feels impossibly wide. It's the humiliation of freezing up when someone asks you to say something in the language you're learning and your mind just goes blank. This is what makes people see it as a sign of failure. They are wrong. Remember, a smooth road never made a skilled driver. The dip isn't failure. It's the audition for fluency. It's the training ground that separates those who will succeed from those who will give up. Look at someone like Sabrina Carpenter. She made music for over a decade before her overnight success. The world saw the breakout, but they didn't see the 10-year audition she had to pass first. The dip exists to see if you truly want what's on the other side. It weeds out the people who don't want it badly enough, because frustration isn't the wall you hit, it's the whetstone that sharpens you for the success you're about to earn. The key is knowing what to quit and what to double down on. Almost everyone gets it backwards. I'll tell you a quick story about a guy named Alex. He started learning Japanese for anime, but the dip hit him so hard he felt like an imposter in his own hobby. Ready to quit, he decided to break the one promise he'd made to himself when he started. He traded his boring textbook for kids' anime and endless flashcards for 15-minute chats about video games. A year later, he was watching his favorite shows. The promise he broke was to be a serious student. He learned you don't quit the language, you quit the punishment. This is the key, but it leads to a question we all need to ask ourselves. What if the only thing holding you back is a method you chose on day one? If you want to get through the dip, you must stop doing 3 things immediately. The next 3 points might feel like a personal attack. They're not. They are the diagnosis you need to hear. 1. Stop blaming the language. It's not German is too hard or Spanish grammar is impossible. The problem is never the language. It's your method. Your approach is broken, not your brain. 2. Stop using methods you hate. You cannot hate your way to fluency. Winners quit all the time. They just quit the right stuff. They quit the boring textbooks, the soul-crushing apps, the study routines that feel like a chore. The single biggest mistake learners make is thinking they have to quit the entire language, when all they really need to do is quit the method that's making them miserable. 3. Stop measuring your progress based on how you feel. Your feelings are liars. Some days you'll feel like a fluent master, others you'll feel like you know nothing. It doesn't matter. Your most critical progress happens when you feel you're making none at all. Your brain is doing deep work you can't perceive. So measure your progress in seasons, not seconds. But this raises a dangerous question. If quitting is sometimes the answer, how do you know you're not just making an excuse? How do you know if you're in a dip that leads to fluency or a dead end that leads nowhere? This is how you know. You're in a dip if you're frustrated with your level, not the language itself. You still find the culture interesting, you still want to watch the movies, you're just mad you can't do it yet. You're in a dip if you look back 3 months and can honestly say you've improved, even slightly. The end goal still excites you. This is a dip. You push through by changing your method. You're in a dead end if you feel a sense of dread when you think about studying. The language itself bores you. The only reason you're still going is because you've already invested so much time. That's the sunk cost fallacy, and it's a trap. If the language no longer serves a real goal in your life, that's a dead end. Quit it without guilt. Some doors need to be closed before the right one can open. Free that energy for something that matters. Are you in a dip or a dead end? Drop it in the comments. You'll be shocked how many people are fighting the same battle. But what good is a diagnosis if you don't have the cure? The danger now isn't confusion, it's inaction. The rest of this video is for the people who want to act, not just understand. Now, for the people who've realized they're in a dip, there's one final piece of the puzzle you need, and it's the difference between grinding for years and achieving fluency systematically. Stop trying to feel good about learning and start getting good at it. Stop relying on motivation. A lot of people wait until they feel motivated to study, and that's why they fail. Motivation is a feeling. Fluency is a result. They are not connected. You need to build habits, not hopes. You need to build a system so strong it works even on your weakest day. A goal is, I want to be fluent in Spanish. That's vague and useless. A system is, every day on my commute, I will listen to 15 minutes of a Spanish podcast. Every night before bed, I will read one page of a book I enjoy in Spanish. No exceptions. But let's be real. A system is just a fantasy if you can't execute it. Let's take that goal of reading a book. How can you read an entire chapter of a foreign book tonight, even if you only know 200 words? The secret has nothing to do with a dictionary or flashcards. Your brain isn't built to decode a story word by painful word. It's built to recognize patterns and fill in gaps using context. The mistake we all make is picking a book where we have zero context. So here's the answer. You do it by picking up a book you've already read and loved in your own language. Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, a thriller you couldn't put down. You already know the plot, the characters, who lives and who dies. That existing knowledge acts as a scaffold, allowing your brain to fill in the massive vocabulary gaps. You're not decoding anymore, you're connecting. You're letting the story you love pull you through the language you're learning. But that level of focus requires us to win a war against the ultimate distraction. So, what's the one setting on your phone that, if you change it, can double your ability to concentrate? Remember, the hint is, it's not notifications. App designers are masters of subconscious manipulation. They use vibrant, candy-like colors, the red of a notification badge, the bright blue of an icon, to trigger the reward centers in your brain. Your phone isn't a neutral tool, it's a digital slot machine, and every color is designed to make you pull the lever again and again. You can't win a willpower fight against that. So you have to change the game. The setting is grayscale. Go into your phone's accessibility settings and turn your screen to black and white. By doing this, you surgically remove the psychological hooks. The slot machine becomes a boring functional tool. The cheap dopamine rush disappears, which allows your brain to finally appreciate the earned satisfaction of making real progress in your language. The system is what makes you fluent. It runs on discipline, not motivation. Focus on executing your system, and fluency becomes an inevitable byproduct. Now listen. A year from now, you will wish you had started today. But that only matters if you take action. Right now, you have a choice. You can click off this video, go back to the exact same frustrating routine, and stay stuck in the dip until you eventually join the 95% who quit. Or you can decide that today is the day you take control. The day you stop blaming the language and start fixing your method. The day you build a system that runs on discipline, not hope. The day you finally start your real journey to fluency. Your future bilingual self is waiting for you to make the choice. So which is it going to be? If you found this video helpful, share it with someone else who's struggling in the dip. And if you're serious about your language journey, subscribe, because we're just getting started. Stay strong, keep pushing, and I'll see you in the next one.